called the Brotherhood. They have been our sworn enemies for as long as I can remember. Led by a madman who was once my closest friend. But now, a new evil has surfaced. One with powers beyond comprehension. And those we have battled against for so long will become something we never imagined. Our allies. The apocalypse has begun.
X-Men Legends 2, Rise of Apocalypse, is the second game in a two-part series. It is a top-down action role-playing game and was released on the Xbox, PS2, GameCube, and PC on September 20th, 2005. Was developed by Raven Software and published by Activision. Only two negative things to talk about this time, and to start with, the graphics in the game are much better than the first, but it does seem to have caused a lot of frame drops. Xbox games can run at 30 FPS, so when you lose any of those frames, it's very noticeable, and I can tell at least a few times that it was below 20. Luckily, the drastic drops are few and far between.
I had come here for the Xavier protocols, but I can make use of you as well.
One of the problems from the first game carried over into this one, and that is that the music is way too loud in the cutscenes. It is almost impossible to hear the talking going on, and there is nothing you can do to change the volume. If you change the music volume in the options, it only affects in-game sound. I enjoyed the story much more than I did in the first game. It was more fleshed out, with many more characters to fight with and against. The story revolves, of course, around Apocalypse, the fabled first mutant. He has come back to weed out all the weaklings and leave only the strong left on Earth. The X-Men and the Brotherhood have to set aside their differences and fight back. As I mentioned earlier, they increased the graphics quite a lot this time around. For instance, all the characters actually have fingers instead of just blocks for hands. Some other examples would be that there is a lot more clutter, such as foliage, and the texture quality as a whole is a lot clearer. Navigating menus is much easier, such as upgrading your characters with stat points and gear. The first game was usable, but slightly clunky. This time around, everything is much more streamlined, easy to read, and easy to use. There are a lot of hidden areas in the game with great loot chests and hidden bonus items that can get you more levels, bonus stats, and extra gear. Be aware that some loot areas can only be accessed with specific characters like Jean Grey since she can fly, or Nightcrawler because he can teleport. Near the beginning of the game, you gain the ability to teleport back to base at any time. Useful if you get tired of playing and you need to go back and save, or if you pick up too much gear and you need to teleport back and sell off some of the excess junk. At any point, you can go back to the extraction menu from any save point and travel anywhere in the game you have previously been. Very useful to backtrack and find those hidden secrets that you missed, or just to level up some more. The game is broken up into 5 chapters with huge levels in each one. They span over multiple areas with plenty of objectives to do and places to explore. Each one will take around 3 hours to complete. The first game had plenty of dialogue that you had to read, but this time around, almost the entire game is voice acted, making it that little bit better. I did manage to find a few parts where the audio would cut out halfway through a sentence, or wouldn't play at all. Seemed like a bug to me, but it did display all of it as text, so I could at least read what was still going on. You will have plenty of characters to level up and explore all of their awesome abilities. In total, there are 15 characters to start with, and 3 more to unlock. The one great thing that this game has that the other didn't is that you can play as some of the Brotherhood this time, such as Magneto, Juggernaut, and Toad. Additionally, they did switch out a few of the X-Men in this game, so now you can play as Scarlet Witch, Sunfire, and Bishop. I had a blast with this game. It is clear they improved upon their formula and fixed many problems from the first game. For instance, the AI teammates will actually heal themselves this time, instead of the last game where the feature seemed completely broken. The story is much deeper and the levels are larger and more fun to explore. The game is selling for around $8 right now, and if you are a fan of the X-Men, I would say pick them both up, as they are both hugely fun.
That don't sound right. Sabretooth tried to save someone.
Don't think too hard on it, Tiny. 'Cause he wouldn't ever save an X-Man.
Question is, who's gonna save you, Bullethead?
Cut it out, you two. Let the professor talk.
Let's get one thing straight, Boy Scout. I don't take orders from you.
See? It's just like I told you, Psych. Juggernaut ain't housebroken yet.